Alright, I hope this is working. The curtains are being washed. I hope the sound is okay on this. This is the fifth part of I Was For Sale. I still don't think the lighting is good enough, but I will show you the cover and the one photo at some point. Please don't buy this book. Both editions are unauthorized. I have some videos up about my problems with Amazon.com and so on and so on. First order of the evening was a wife who needed to be punished. She has a fantasy of all the men here whipping her for her naughty fantasy, the husband announced. The men lined up cheerfully. The wife, about 40 and with a chunky bod, removed her flimsy nightdress and, nude, bent over a vaulting horse. Each man delivered a few blows, but after about the 20th man, she was about to bleed. She was inspected by the house doctor, and it was declared, regrettably, the game must stop. To her credit, she made not a sound during the whippings and paddlings, which were severe and done with full force. We then saw a man who had done his wife up as a genuine pony girl. He explained she was a little too frail for him to actually mount, but there was a special saddle for her back anyway, just for show. She had full headgear and lovely green feathers in her headdress. A strict bit, the curb type, was in her mouth. La Marquise stripped me naked, then hog-tied me in front of a fireplace. She wandered away and forgot me. I started to sob, which is dangerous when you are gagged. You can choke to death. I heard a man lie quietly behind me, masturbating. As my sobs intensified, so did his level of stimulation. Ah, yes, he sighed. There is nothing more erotic than the sound of a woman's tears. We were not to sleep there that night, though that would have been possible had we brought sleeping bags. La Marquise took me to a room full of corseted dominas. "Can we play with your slave?" Anastasia asked. I felt true fear. "Maybe later," La Marquise said. Gratefully, I was led away and permitted to have another helping of tepid coleslaw. We drove back to Manhattan just before dawn. The cute little sports car purred. La Marquise was chuckling. "We have to go out for dessert," she declared. "It's 5 in the morning, I protested. "Just perfect for coffee in Little Italy," she murmured. She boldly pounded on a closed door, and we were let in and served espressi and pastries, which I was too tired to consume, but poked at anyway, as much out of fear as of politeness. I was subsequently dropped off at the door to my job. I had the front door key, let myself into the mansion on 69th Street, and found a couch to nap on for a couple of hours. Until I was discovered by Raoul, the cleaning man, bruised and muttering in my sleep. He looked at me wide-eyed. Surely I smelled awful, and was full of whip marks. "Are you okay?" he asked me. "Sure," I answered. "I was just out partying. Don't say nothing to the boss, please. I'm going to go wash up in the toilet now. Can you make sure there's some coffee brewing in the lunchroom?" He nodded and split. I went to the toilet, ran a lot of hot water in the sink, stripped, and washed myself from head to toe with industrial soap, even my hair, which I dried with paper towels. I went and got some coffee and put back on my raincoat over my clothes. No one asked why I wore it that day at work. It sure did cover a multitude of sins. The phones began ringing at 9. The boss got in about half an hour later. By then, I was fairly perky and was diligently typing royalty statements for our stable of artists. I quit work around 3 to attend my Hunter College class in Buddhism. Back in the late 70s, pot smoking was permitted in the Hunter hallways. I inhaled a joint and went into my lecture, which focused on the concept of hungry ghosts. A hungry ghost is a very bad reincarnation. You come to Earth with a huge belly and a tiny mouth, and a throat so narrow you can only swallow 1 grain of cooked rice at a time. You are damned to live out your life in a state of perpetual dissatisfaction. This is the book I Was for Sale, Confessions of a Bondage Model by Lisa B. Fallour. I don't know if you can see that or not. The original title for this was supposed to be Bizarre Life, and I never approved the galleys for either of these editions by Velvet, which was part of Creation Books, nor by Green Candy Press. I was never paid, except this guy from the Underground Literary Alliance named Carl Wenkless did manage to get me $800 out of Green Candy Press, who have an address in San Francisco, but they sent me some books once via DHL, which I was shocked. I didn't know that Velvet had sold my manuscript, for which I had never been paid by Velvet, and for which I've heard horrible stories from writers who've written for Velvet and Creation over the years. And I still have it with the guy's real address on it. He ran or runs some sort of an electric motor repair shop around Vancouver or something. So don't buy the book. I'll try to read it all for you. This will go on in installments when I have the time and when I feel up to it. I'm uploading something very interesting on my other channel right now. It's a video response to Secret Agent 33, and it's about the CIA. You might like it. And on Daily Motion, I post under Lisa Fallour. That's all one word. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.